This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy birthday. Forgot what day it was. Welcome to Morning Hookup with Hooks by Z. Life Perfect. Back at you midweek. Got a lot to get to today. How this show can talk stuff into existence. We do that a lot. Also, happy birthday to our one YZ.
Thank you.
It's his birthday.
24 years young.
24. I was trying to figure out. Moats asked, how? I don't know. I think it's at least, I was thinking maybe you can rent a car now, but not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what is
Is
age
the
on a
age?
car?
It used to be 25.
We rented one when we were out in Boston. But
Okay.
I think there was a fee for being under.
Yeah,
25.
see, I think it's at 25. Everything like kind of changes when you get there. Perks, no fees. I have no idea. Can you open up the thing more so it doesn't like it just all comes out at once?
No,
You like doing it that way?
that's just where the little tear thing is on the.
Oh.
I have a drink packet in here.
Yeah,
for those that are listening.
Could you not hear that?
Or I'll get it closer to the mic.
Yeah. It's now not even going in.
Oh, I didn't
It's now not even going in.
even realize anything was coming out.
Yeah, no, the so it's got a little tearaway thing on there. The problem being it's way too close, so it just opens this tiny little hole.
Mm.
And I don't have scissors or anything. And I used to have a knife on my keychain at all times, a nice one too, Japanese made. TSA took it. I forgot to take it off my keychain when I was going to go fly one time.
Oh.
That's gone.
Yeah, that was. They pulled it out and they went. So we're gonna have to take this and go. Yeah, you are. That's
Yeah.
that's
my
kind. That one's
bad.
kind of on me. I like that
My
knife
bad.
too. I was like really nice. It was sharp.
Like my bad. Yeah, but happy birthday, YZ.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy the day. You started off the right way. You must have stayed at not your house last night.
Yes, that is correct.
I get the weekly text. Hey, starting off the day right. Can you let me in the front door? That's what happens.
I forget my key quite often. I would forget my head if it was not attached to my shoulders. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Your parents said that a lot growing up, didn't they? Yeah,
that
that was a
ingrained-
classic parentism right there.
That was ingrained in your head. I could tell.
Yep.
With that one. But a lot to get to today. We'll have coming up Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan hoops conversation. We'll talk home, away, home only, all the schedule. The Big Ten came out, kind of look at that a little bit. Husker baseball, a little PJ, NBA, NHL, and a whole lot more. We got a lot going on. But we probably will get to a lot of baseball today. I mean, we will, but Husker, but not Major League. But we talk stuff into existence. We talked about Cal Raleigh yesterday. He was coming in like 0 for his last 38. We got you, Cal. 2 for 4 last night. Broke out of it. I think the narrative of this, obviously, they've still been winning. They're now 21-22. I think they're continuing to move up that. But it's what baseball player. I think it's more of baseball players, what they go through, the stuff that they'll do to break streaks or whatever. Cal Raleigh the suggestion was, hey, full uniform shower. He did it. Full uni shower.
Yeah.
Just wash it all off. That uniform you've been wearing, something's wrong with it.
sometimes
He was told to do it. He gets in the shower, full uni shower, 2 for 4. Seems to be back. I love the fact also that baseball players can be petty and jokesters. I don't know if you saw the clip as he's walking through the dugout last night. Gets that hit. Somebody had a baseball for him. They gave him the ball. They like acted like this was the one ball he got. Kind of fun. But he breaks out of it last night. 2 for 4.
Reminds me of that Mookie Wilson, Mets legend.
Yes.
His old quote on how he broke out of slumps. Seen this one?
Have you seen Mark Grace talk about it? Just kidding. Go.
I like this one. He said, when I'm in a slump, I comfort myself by saying that I believe in dinosaurs.
Wow.
If I believe in dinosaurs, then somewhere they must be believing in me. And if they believe in me, then I believe in me.
Oh, God.
Then I bust out of my slump.
It bugs me out of my slump. Yeah, so Cal gets it done last night. Also, I think breaking out of it last night. How about Nebraska baseball? 8-4 winner last night. And we talked about it yesterday. The sole like looking right at. I feel like the individuals we talked about yesterday all performed the way that we would hope them to get back on track. Cooper Kotsky last night, 5 2/3, 5 innings, 3 runs, 3 earned. Found the zone, did have 3 walks, but 4 strikeouts, got you deep into a game. We'll talk about him. You also mentioned Harhill. Hey, how about 2 innings of 1-hit baseball last night?
Yep.
You got a guy
Love
in.
that.
You got a guy in. Also, other individuals that we mentioned throughout the week yesterday. Drew Grego, how about 3 for 5 last night? Jeter Worley been on fire, 2 for 5 last night.
And Grego, let's go back just a second. All 3 of those hits were doubles.
Yep.
Tied the record for most doubles in a game. Can anyone name who he tied?
Is it one? Oh, gosh. Is it one of the doubles leaders of all time?
I don't think so.
The doubles leaders are Will Bolt or Dylan Carey.
No.
Of all time. So not those guys. Let's see. No clue. I mean, you could throw out the normal names like Gordo.
No. Cody Ashe.
What? Would never have gotten to that level.
Well, it's one of those games where you need a little luck on your side to get 3 doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Hard
3
contact doesn't guarantee doubles.
Yeah, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs for him last night. 2 hits by Jeter last night. Also got Jet Buck had 2 hits last night. 8 runs, 13 hits. Oh boy, high strikeouts last night on the night, but they get it done 8-4. But I think the story will go back. Will be the pitching side with Kotsky's performance, Harhill getting in there, and Unger getting in there and returning back to a little form because he's been roughed up the last couple of times.
It was a confidence building night last night. It starts with the run support early in the game. Is that this show or the Average Joe Sports Show where I talked about how important that was going to be? I think it was the Average Joe Sports Show yesterday afternoon. How important the first 3 innings to get some runs across the board was going to be to free you up. Because whenever you're a guy in Katsky that it feels like the game can kind of turn for you on one pitch. He's been roughed up via home runs. Kind of feels like he's been trying to throw the perfect pitch every single time as opposed to just trying to get out there and go compete and throw a pitch. And whenever you find yourself up by a couple of runs before you even step on the mound, and then your team's adding that lead, and it's 3-0 in the second, it frees you up mentally as a pitcher to go out there and pitch whenever you know, hey, even if there's a bloop and a blast, we're still in the lead. So I think you have to give some credit to the Husker hitters for that. But Katsky did look to be a guy that was returning to some form of confidence. It's good to see. You need him to be a confident guy going into postseason baseball. I liked what you saw from Harrihill. Jay-Sean Unger, same thing. It wasn't always pretty from the bullpen last night.
Nope. But
I know there's some guys that probably didn't like what they put out there on the field, but you got enough. You got the run support. Bats did what they had to do, and you escape as a winner.
Yep. That's what
it is kind of what it felt like, unfortunately.
And speaking of
it did feel like a bit of an escape last night.
It did, but escape needed. The record unblemished, first time sweeping the Blue Jays since 2015, I believe. Also, if you're looking at, I know we look at like how Iowa has owned us quite a bit over the time. It was put out yesterday. Did you see what Husker teams have done against Creighton this year?
9-0.
Undefeated.
Yep.
Not a loss to Creighton in basketball, both men and women, volleyball, soccer, baseball, tennis, and softball. 9-0. Kind of fun little stat.
Red State.
That's cool. But a good one last night for them. Like I said, maybe a little bit of an escape. But
how did Creighton do against Nebraska in football?
Oh, you went there.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind. Oh, no, we're all the same then. We're all the same. But a good one there for Nebraska to get it done in that. Now, they, again, kind of a short rest going on. You didn't have to use a lot yesterday, but short rest as you get going Thursday, Friday, Saturday coming up with the weekend. Minnesota, looking at that coming up. Another winning weekend, hopefully, for Nebraska as they can go out there and get 3 wins on the road and then sit back and watch where you fall in the Big Ten. You can lock up a top 4 here in this series in the Big Ten tournament as that's approaching, and then what that regional looks like. Because did you see the regional, is it D1 Baseball put out?
D1 Baseball had Nebraska down in Lawrence.
That's all I got.
Well, it does feel like it's either going to be Nebraska or Kansas.
Yeah, it's where you are. That's where you are. So
I know the pair rankings have Nebraska or have Lincoln and Lawrence each hosting a regional. I don't see that happening.
No, it ain't happening. I don't see two
and I think
that close.
I think the evidence kind of comes through what we saw. I know it's different sports, but a lot of the same decision makers. The softball side of things, where Nebraska ends up as the number 4 overall seed, despite the head-to-head they have against Texas. Like there's going to be an intrinsic bias towards SEC, ACC warm weather teams when it comes down to who's going to host a regional. One of Lincoln or Lawrence will host one.
Yep. Either way, you don't get both.
You got to finish strong down the stretch, and you probably got to hope for Kansas faltering either in the final regular season series or in the tournament. I think if Nebraska wants to host a regional, I think you sweep the weekend. A Minnesota loss hurts a lot more than a win. So I think sweeping the weekend is where you got to start. And then you at least got to be playing on Saturday in the Big Ten tournament, if not on Sunday.
I agree. So good one in a big series coming up for Nebraska. So good stuff. Let's take our first break. Come back, boy. Big night in the NBA, big night in the NHL.
I'm sorry, I gotta be so bad. I did leave my Sims in here. No, I don't need them.
Okay.
There's only like 1 or 2 left.
Guys, they left me solo. Hooksy went to the bathroom. I don't know where Elijah went, but I'm here by myself. If anybody is here in the stream, please don't leave me. Left me alone on my birthday.
Probably a weirdly silent commercial break for most streamers.
I was just talking about that. I was like, Hooksy went to the bathroom. I don't know where Elijah went.
Yeah, my drink mix that we spent some time talking about was a little too strong, so I had to go dilute it down. Taste tester. Much better.
What flavor you got?
Cherry slush. Welcome back.
Thanks. Whew. Call me by surprise.
We took an abrupt commercial break with
sorry.
a silent commercial because I went to go dilute this down, and you're in the bathroom, so it's just why Z sitting here alone.
Like, I'll tell you something. Good morning, FloodX 10. YZ. Good morning, Todd. Yes, it is top 10 day for golf. You see the weather day. It's like low 80s, low winds. Whew.
Oh, Anthony Calandra sat down with Pete Nakos.
Yeah.
On 3. You're not here to just not win a national championship.
He said, it's one of his quotes was, I'm not here to win eight games.
Oh.
If you guys have
that's perfect.
That's one thing I like about Calandria. When I've watched him, he has that like little chip on his shoulder, dog factor, you know.
Diet Pavia.
Yeah. He's 5'10", but
I
he'll
feel like as we get to that point, he's going to be the one you're going to have to live with, a guy trying to make plays. He's going to make some electric stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a plays you're going to go, what?
Rolling to his right, double coverage.
Oh, yeah.
Back across the middle of the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're going to make I don't think there's going to be a doubt as you start to read and learn about him that he's going to be a guy that's going to be trying to make every single play. He's going to get to the sticks and try to get that extra couple yards if he's coming by foot.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the morning hookup. Were you in my car this morning?
Like this song?
Both the songs I've heard these. I played them both this morning in the car.
Great.
That's what I did. I went to on Apple Music. I threw it on this morning, and I found it where it's got like all how they do the yearly wrap up, whether it be Spotify or blah, blah. Yeah, I found my yearly wrap up. They kept them all there, like for multiple years. I just hit it, and both these songs came up. That's when I started.
Maybe I secretly was. I
don't know.
actually planted something in your car.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of planting things,
I was. Tell me you're going to go here.
what?
Planting with your right ends.
Oh, I was not going to go there.
I thought you were
I was
gonna-
going with the fact that I did also plant a new jalapeno plant last night at my house.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't decide between like a sweet pepper and a spicy pepper. And as the day wore on yesterday, I went, I'm going to regret not having jalapenos.
Yeah.
So I went and got myself a new little planting bucket.
What do you
pot?
Yeah. Let's go. Where do you get jalapeno plants at?
At the garden center at Home Depot.
I don't know. I really don't know this stuff because I never planted a garden.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll bring you guys some jalapenos, assuming I have way too many.
Fresh grown jalapeno.
I was also thinking about, I have a good salsa verde recipe, and I was thinking about just making a good salsa verde, canning it, and giving that as gifts.
Why are you thinking about it? Do it.
Because I don't want to screw up the canning and get everybody sick.
And you got this Marconian. What's this pepper? Is it Marconian?
The giant Marconi?
Yeah.
Sweet pepper? Yeah. The bell pepper the long way.
Yeah. Classic stuff.
Anyway, no, but with the votes yesterday.
Yeah. It was a primary yesterday.
And I will say, folks, it was rough voter turnout yesterday.
Aren't primaries usually like that?
Especially in non-presidential election years.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're sub 15% yesterday.
I forgot, honestly. I was
I didn't think there was very good knowledge that yesterday was even primary day.
I think we all know this and not get into the.
But I think they were expecting like 25% voter turnout.
But
they
I
were even
think
less than that.
When I was looking at, like, we all know this, whether it be sports, life, whatever. When things are put in your face and advertised a bunch, you're aware, and you watch or you do it. This one was like, who knew? Who knew what was going on? Who are the people? I didn't see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the, here it is, come out, right? I don't know.
With that in mind, if you run uncontested in a primary, you will be running against Elijah Herbal.
Yeah.
I will write myself in if you're running uncontested. I believe in democracy and I believe uncontested elections. I mean, what's the point of all that? Therefore, no matter what I think about you, if you're uncontested, you will be going up against my write-in vote of myself.
Isaac, we had this conversation yesterday that when you were gone, but Elijah Herbal has
on
history.
the air or off the air?
I don't even know, but Elijah Herbal, like, he is not lying. He has history of this. He once wrote in Kanye West.
Oh yeah. No.
And
yesterday it was auditor of public accounts.
Yeah.
It was my time to shine.
It was. That was probably a landslide. You probably lost that one. 1 to whatever.
Let's check.
Yeah. Can you look at that? Does it actually, when you do that, does it give you credit?
I don't think so. I think they just chalked that one up as auto. Okay.
No credit. No credit.
Live. Where's our live election results?
I don't know if you're getting credit for that one.
The problem is this is only going to show us the important ones. Let's see. There's House, legislator, attorney general, state auditor. Yeah, they have it down as uncontested, 100%.
But they could have been. I mean, it could have been one of those up and coming guys we just didn't know about. One Elijah Herbal. Who is this guy? We should investigate this guy and figure out who he is for real.
Maybe next year though.
Next year, maybe. Next year.
I'm not sure how long a treasurer.
Maybe actually like
or auditor.
Apply. See what happens.
I actually put my name on the ballot,
and then see if you can get on. Like, to me, that would be like getting in a game and somehow fouling somebody or something to get your name in the scorebook.
Well, I was thinking there is really nothing stopping you. I guess I haven't dove deeply into the laws of America, but if I got some buddies to all move to like a town of like 25, 30 people, what's stopping me from running for mayor and having my buddies elect me as the mayor of some small town?
That'd be incredible. The
least powerful position on earth, but
yes.
Turn that into Atlantis.
I'm down where you're at.
No, then we turn that into a state auditor run. Before you know it, I'm governor.
Last night.
Before you know it, I'm president.
Yes. Last night in the world of the NBA continued. Boy, a statement made last night. Wembanyama returns in that one.
27 and 17.
He went 27-17, 5 assists, 3 blocks last night. plus 24 last night. When you look at that, 126.97, pretty close throughout this game. But again, they pull away in this one. I think something to watch for that's been in this one. I mean, I think that was probably the easiest bet on the board with Wembanyama returning and then being at home last night to take this thing to 3-2 back to Minnesota was one Dylan Harper. Harper in this has been fantastic off the bench. Last night, 12-10. But go back and look at his series and where he has developed and become a really good player. We know we saw him play in the Big Ten out of Rutgers, but he's been phenomenal. They got 33 points off the more than 33, but they got from Johnson 21 last night off the bench, Harper 12-10 off the bench last night. Big time contributions from up and down that lineup last night. And it was a dominating performance. You could see in Anthony Edwards' postgame, dumbfounded. He's like, what do you do against a guy like that? You hope he misses. When Wembanyama, he was electric last night. 18, by the way. He scored 27, but I think 18 of those, by the way, came in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And it was 34-30 after one, 25-17 in the second quarter. And then that big fourth quarter, they win by 11 and they win by 29 last night.
And Minnesota made a fight too. The Spurs were up in the first half, and then Minnesota came out in the second half. I think it was tied at 61. The next thing you know, it's 90-70. Like the Spurs just completely, when they turned it on, would not stop. And Minnesota was helping them a little bit. They were giving them turnovers and stuff, but yeah, San Antonio could just completely dominated that game in pretty much every facet.
Different ball game, obviously, when Wembanyama in the game. So they get it done today in the NBA. Now there's a couple teams are starting off some elimination tonight. Cavs headed to the Pistons tonight in Little Caesars Arena. Do they have enough to start that off? The Cavs have found something as of recently. Watching them play will be a really good matchup tonight for those guys.
I feel like what they found is just Donovan Mitchell cooking.
Woo!
What did he have? 39?
43 total, points? 39 second half points. If you watch him finally, he looks comfortable. Like he's just attacking. It's like, hey, by the way, this is my team, and I'm going to go get mine.
Well, what's nice about this round of the NBA playoffs now is the crappy games are out of the way.
They're gone.
Thunder Lakers, done for. Lakers got swept. Sixers got swept. Like it's just good games now. We got Spurs and T-Wolves. We got Cavs and Pistons. These are the competitive series.
It's where you got to get to.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a good chance. I think Spurs and T-Wolves go 7. I think Minnesota will have a response. I think Anthony Edwards will have a response because he talked about the fact that, hey, sometimes you just got to hope that Wembanyama misses. On the other side, it's the same way with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards goes iso ball. He's going to generate a look that you as a defense don't want him to have, whether it's at the rim or whether it's a 3-point bomb. It's a shot you don't want Anthony Edwards to have because he can, whenever he gets hot, he can go off for 50 just the same as Wembanyama can go off and be unstoppable. And you kind of think that he's going to have a response. It's just, let's see, 2 days rest. They get Wednesday, Thursday off, and they're playing Friday.
Yep.
You would think Anthony Edwards has a response. On the Cavs-Pistons side of things, kind of same story where Donovan Mitchell can go off at any time, but so can Cade Cunningham. And Cade Cunningham, he's really settled into this playoff run. I think as time has gone on, it was rough early. I think he settled into what playoff basketball is, and he's playing at a different level. I wouldn't be surprised to see either of these series go 7, which would be fun.
I think that Pistons thing is going to come down to this, is the supporting cast of Cade Cunningham. They've been asking a lot of Cunningham in the first 2 series to get through them. You'll wonder, I know at this point it's a long season, you wonder those legs, how they hold up in the minutes he's playing and the workload. That's going to come from a supporting cast in that one. So they'll get and try to start off elimination tonight. Got to tell you, wasn't paying much attention, but I was paying him a lot of attention to the NHL last night. Sabres 3-2. Did you see the wicked goal in the Sabres? The weird deflection. Forget who does it. They send it in. You know how they send it in down the ice. They hit the board, circled around. It goes in and around, somehow hits something on the corner and deflects just perfectly into the goal.
It was one of the weirder deflections
I've never seen that in my life watching hockey. But they take that one tied up 3-2, and in a really good hockey game last night was the Ducks and the Gold Knights. This thing was awesome last night. Knights prevail in overtime 3-2.
Ended at midnight-ish.
I was up.
I stayed up for it.
I was up.
Yeah.
I
Great
was up
hockey
because
game.
I'm like sitting there watching. We got back from baseball and it was on the TV when we walked. I do that when I leave the house and I know I'm coming back at a certain time. I put it on the channel that I want it to be on when I come home. And it was perfect because I think that they were in the overtime. I don't even know where it was, but it was on. But a very highly contested. This one, that series is going to be, I think that's one that's going to end up going 7 when you get back to Anaheim in this one. Because Anaheim, they struck first. The Golden Knights were almost perfect in the power play last night in this one. But they get it done last night 3-2. In that one today.
I'll say aside from game 3, where Vegas goes and wins 6-2, every single game in that series has been super, super competitive. And it's going to continue to be that way.
Yep.
Game 1 was 3-1 Golden Knights, but then the Ducks came back in game 2, 3-1. Benefits of some empty netters in those games. Vegas takes game 3 handily, but then game 4, it's the Ducks by 1. Now it's the Golden Knights by 1. Game 6 comes tomorrow. It'll be a close game. It'll be a close game as the Ducks look to fend off elimination. Vegas looks to get it done in Anaheim. I would probably say that is a matchup that favors the Ducks. Give me the 2 most beautiful words in sports. Game 7.
Game 7. Hockey playoff game 7.
And that's a series. Hey, man. Overtime in game 7. I'm looking too far ahead here. Ahead.
Nope.
Like that would be a Saturday if it does make it that far.
You're a hockey fan's dream right now.
It'd be a Saturday afternoon, 5 p.m. Give me game 7 between the Golden Knights and the Ducks.
Tonight, your Avalanche will look to end this series against the Wild. Big favorites tonight as they are in Denver tonight for the game. I feel like this one is, you get to a point in sports when you look at matchups and the Wild have to be going, what else can we do? How do we've been taking it. We've been doing everything we can, but yet here we are down 3-1 in Denver. Too much abs tonight, I believe.
And it took for them to get that one game. It took a goalie off his game, I think, to have that. And the Avs, they flip goalkeepers, works well for them.
You feel like you just thrown every shot you got at one of the best teams in hockey.
The Wild will be the more desperate team. The question is, does that matter? They were the more desperate team last night as well, or 2 nights ago, excuse me. They were the more desperate team. They came out third period on fire. The Avs still put up goals in that third period to go and win it. And the Wild had responses. It did not matter. The Avs are a bit of a juggernaut. Simple as that. Am I biased? Maybe. But I'm also being objective here when I say this Avs team is a wagon.
Yes.
The amount of different ways that they have shown that they can beat you. And the fact that they took a Wild team that was more desperate than them the other night and still won that game handily means bad things for the Wild. No, this Wild team is you could argue they're a top 4 team in hockey. And the Avs are just systematically picking them apart.
How do you guys feel about as those series are continuing and the Avs look to complete that? You got the other 2 series sitting there. How do you guys feel about teams? And I'm solely focused on the Hurricanes right now in the layoff, sitting and waiting. Because there's always the question about the rust factor, sitting around waiting. Who's your opponent? Those conversations are because, at one hand, it's been a long season for them, maybe a little battered and bruised on the Carolina side. Maybe you're looking at going, all right, you guys go 7, keep beating each other up because then you're going to be on short rest coming to play us. Or is it, man, really like to get back on the ice to keep these skates sharp? Because that's going to be a long time before they play again.
Well, if you look at previously in this Avs series, whenever they had the 4-day layoff, they came out and goalkeeper off his game. Avs didn't quite look sharp. They're an experienced playoff bunch, though. I think with an experienced playoff bunch, you'll take the rest because this is not the first time that they've had long layoffs.
Yep.
They're used to it. I think they know how to handle things, and they came out and put 9 goals on the Wild after their last long rest. So
just always an interesting conversation. You're sitting there just watching and, man, you guys just keep beating each other up. It's just fine, and we'll see in a little bit. So a lot more to come on the NHL.
By the way,
it has provided is what it's done.
Viewership is still up huge. They just yesterday released Saturday's numbers for hockey, and Sunday, excuse me. 3 of the 4 games averaged over 2 million viewers, which is it's on pace to be the highest watched Stanley Cup playoffs ever.
Well,
you had Carolina, Philly over 2 million. You had Colorado and Minnesota over 2 million. You had Buffalo, Montreal over 2 million. Vegas and Anaheim was about 1.5 million. They averaged throughout the game.
I think the secret's out. The secret is out about hockey, and I think contradicting as well on the other side is it's watchable, it's fun, it's entertaining. There's a sport being played. It's not a show. I think the NBA is getting the other side of that. I would love to see the nights where they're competing, what those numbers look like.
I'd like to see more elbows thrown in the NBA. That's what I want to see.
It sparked a conversation.
It did.
Against one of your megastars, because that is one thing that your megastars, hardly do you see that happen.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be really curious to see over the next 3 years or so, what does the NBA implement to try to bring viewership back?
You need more. I mean, we talked about it. You need more of what, and I'm not saying the violent side of it, but you need more villains. You need more.
You need more villains. You need
rivalries.
You need rivalries. You need more defense.
You need something,
and you
watch.
need fewer foul baiters. We need guys that aren't going to the free throw line so much.
And a lot of that,
folks yearn for that early '90s basketball where there was, hey, when the playoffs rolled around, it was like no blood, no foul.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that foul stuff too comes from how the officials officiate the game. Like they just call way too much, and they cater to the offensive part of the game. That needs to change. It's not fun to watch. If you're sitting in the regular season and it's game 27 and Detroit and Charlotte are on, do you really want to sit there and watch 4 quarters of basketball? No. Nobody's going to sit down and watch that.
Look, man, the NBA for me as the casual NBA basketball fan has become, give me the Cliff Notes. I'll watch it on SportsCenter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got all I needed this morning for me. And again, there are passionate NBA fans.
Mm-hmm.
You watch their crowds. That is their sport. That is what they love. So they follow. But I think there's another part of us that are like not there, that do like basketball, but I can get the Cliff Notes on my hour's worth of SportsCenter, which I did this morning, and can talk and go, hey.
And one of the reasons why Adam Silver said it last offseason, or his end of last season, that he thought the NBA is a highlight sport. No sport should be a highlight sport. Nope.
Yep.
All sports should be games where, hey, if you watch the highlights, you can kind of get a feel for it, but it should be a game that you want to watch live. The NBA ain't like that. The NBA, listen, it is better to watch as a highlight sport because the games to watch, if you could watch the full 48 minutes, kind of painful.
It's boring.
Kind of painful. Whenever you get to watch the highlights, you get to skip through all the free throws.
Yeah.
I promise you,
all the whistles.
I have more fun watching mid-major college basketball than I do watching NBA.
100%. Generally, I just have more fun watching college basketball as a whole than the NBA.
Oh, all day long.
And I think one of the wake-up calls should have been the fact, and this was the most talked about game of the season, and I have a feeling the NBA is not going to make the necessary changes, but there should have been a bit of a wake-up call whenever Bam Adebayo breaks Kobe's scoring record on 43 free throws.
Yeah.
83 points, but he got to the free throw line over 20 times. He was 36 of 43 from the free throw line.
Yep.
Something about that game should have been a wake-up call.
Yep.
But they're going to sit back and be like, wow, look at all the attention it got the NBA. Well, maybe you should sit back and ask why a lifetime, essentially, NBA role player, a fine center, is breaking Kobe's scoring record. I know it's not Will dropped 100, allegedly. But, like, the high-scoring game that everyone remembers in recent times was Kobe's 81.
Yep. You're going to look up now and go, man, who?
That should be a wake-up call to the NBA. Hey, maybe we're not doing things right around here. But I don't think it will be.
No, it won't be. But more to come. They'll keep doing that the way they do it.
And I say it's a shame. It's because I mean, NBA playoffs were always one of my favorite times of the year.
Man, I'm with you.
I'm struggling to watch these games that are not like either game 7s or we're coming up on the conference finals. I'm sure I'll kind of check in on those. I'm just struggling to watch. Even when I was watching the Nuggets games, I was like, man, I can't wait for the next Avs game.
We're not even locked in on it's hockey at our house. My kids are coming down in the morning, waking up from school and going, man, did you see last night? Yes, hockey. It's an amazing transition that's happened in sports. Hey, your mom says happy birthday.
Thanks, Mom.
Shane says, shout out to the Lumberyard, Wedgwood, and Blackwood. Avs win big tonight. FloodX 10 is in for something in 2028.
Oh, that's my my gubernatorial run.
There you go. He's in. Now we're starting the campaign. There we go. So, all right, let's take a break. You know what we're going to do is come back. There's a major tournament starting tomorrow. And there's a lot of storylines behind that. Let's talk about the PGA Championship. Look at some of those storylines. There's a pinky toe that's causing a golfer some problems right now. Let's talk about that when we return. He talked about it yesterday. Did you see him? He had to quit his practice run.
I did not see that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when he comes in.
I did see the video. Did you see Rory guessing swings based on silhouette
It
alone?
was nuts. He nailed them all.
Yeah.
Even
LeBron and Charles Barkley, I think, was the easiest
Easy.
one on there, and he kind of struggled with that one, but he even nailed LeBron right away. Spieth, he just got it on the setup.
He's like, yep, don't even have to swing it. Spieth. But it shows you how locked in, like, what, there are some, that story, but there's some electric tee times. They have really done the job on the tee times for this one.
Okay, I'll say Aronimink. Is that how you pronounce it?
I guess, yeah, I don't even know.
Looks spectacular.
You see what they were talking about, like some of the holes, like number 11 and stuff. Woo. So this is one where they go off. The PGA does it. They go off both tees early on. So many guys in the tournament because this is where you get
5:45. I think we're kicking off tomorrow morning.
Because you got a lot of PGA professionals in this, like Michael Block at the Block Party. Yeah, we'll look at some of these tee times. They look good.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I did look it up. I just saw where the 2027 PGA Championship is.
Where's it at?
Frisco, Texas.
What's down there?
PGA Frisco, Fields Ranch East. It's the first time a men's major championship will be played in North Texas in over 60 years.
No way.
I'm gonna be honest here. I'm looking at the.
Yeah,
I'm looking at some images of it, and it does not look like.
Does it not suit your eye?
No.
Not your kind of course?
Yeah, no. It just looks. That's how to put it.
Well, Texas, didn't you?
And their logo for the 2027 PGA Championship is a hay bale.
What? Come on, man. Do better.
I mean, I'm just going to pull up just the image. Oh, here, you can see it here, kind of hooks in. This could look funny in the stream, but see, there's the hay bale. And then, yeah, there's the course. That just looks bland.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. Yeah, I'm sure it's a tough course, but
Not middle of nowhere. That's the lack of the PJ is unique. It's not one that's gonna be like popping off the chart to go watch on the weekend.
in the course, this
Welcome back in the morning, Hook. A few moments left. Thanks for hanging out with us on a beautiful hump day outside. Boy, PJ, the second major of the year is upon us. The stars upon stars are back on the golf course. One had to leave the golf course early yesterday, as he talked about this last week as well. He left his practice after 3 holes. Back-to-back Masters champion Roy McIlroy to leave yesterday with a blister on his pinky toe of his right foot with discomfort. Cart pulled up, took him off the golf course. He was seen smiling and waving, though. It'd be interesting to watch. As you know, they got to walk this golf course. They don't expect to be long-term, but he said it was interesting because he said where it was. It's underneath his toenail. There's a blister underneath the toenail.
Ooh, I can feel that. That was
Right? When you said anything underneath the toenail, is what he's dealing with right now. So something to watch. Doesn't seem to be a big deal, but boy, some of the big is some of these tee times when you look at it, because they go off back tees. One where you got a lot of PGA professionals that have earned the right to be there. By the way, I thought of this. Alex Fitzpatrick has been really good since he earned that victory with his brother Matt at the Zurich Classic. He has now finished like in the top 10 in both the signature events. He also gets his way in. You know what they give him as a gift for his second major of his career? The 5:45 Central Tee Time. You got to wake up and go play at 5:45 in the morning.
Oof.
Well, isn't it 6:45 out there?
6:45 out there, but yeah, 5:45. So 6:45 tee time.
But still,
welcome to your second major ever. You just got in. Boom. Boys,
what's your earliest tee time
that I've played?
Yeah.
We have
in recent memory
7 a.m. I love a good brisk 7 a.m. tee time. Nobody, you're the first tee time, you're gone and you're moving and you're done by like 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I like to play golf.
There was once last summer where I did it was really early. It was like a 6:20 tee time.
Yeah, well, I just love
it.
And
I played 9 holes and still made it here in time for the morning hookup.
Do you get to the water where it's like the steam is kind of coming off of it?
The dew is it's all kind of
absolutely
burning off.
Amazing. Which also going to be amazing. You look at, they will go off both sets of tees tomorrow again, early 5:45 local here. If you are ever up and want to watch that, some really good tee times. The PGA is one of those where I've ranked it 5th as a golf tournament. Looking at it, you got the 3 majors. I would go like Masters, U.S. Open, Open Championship, the Players, and then the PGA brings it to. But they do a nice job with the tee times. Listen to some of these tee times you're getting. This will be you go. It's going to be like, you got a 132, 1232, Hovland, Morikawa, Lowry. Then you go Gottrip, McIntyre, Fleetwood, Young, Bradley, Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, Matt Fitzpatrick, which is interesting because Fitzpatrick has had the best of Scotty the last couple of tournaments that Fitz has won. They'll be teamed with Justin Rose in that one. And then you look on the other side, Cantlay, Minwoo Lee, Thigala go together. A very outspoken individual as of lately. DeChambeau, as you know, that these guys do get a chance to come back to live, guys. DeChambeau, Oberg, Fowler. Fowler has played his way in to this tournament. Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, Terrell Hatton. I think maybe the best tee time out there is this one. It's the 8:40, 7:40 local tee time. Roy McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, John Rahm will be an electric tee time out there on that side. Your odds right now, again, it's your typical odds look right now. Rory McIlroy leading the way out. So sorry, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and then there's everybody else in the field of golf at this one. This is going to be a fun tournament. It's just one that will the courses you mentioned, like the courses don't pop off the page.
From an odds point of view, are there any? I know we do this more with the Masters. I don't think we're gonna make picks this year because that went poorly for me. So I don't think we do.
So now you're quitting.
But from an odds point of view, are there any guys that you think good value on?
I love. Look, this sounds like maybe a softball when you throw it out there. Right now, go to the odds. Right now, Scotty Scheffler 9-2, McIlroy 17-2, and then you get into the guys like Cam Young 12-1, John Rahm 16-1, DeChambeau, Schauffele 18-1. What about a guy like Justin Rose coming off the board at 45-1?
Is he the one that recently switched to McLaren?
Yes, and he's been playing well as of lately with those. But 45-1, he pops off the page in there. Chris Gottrip, who is one of the best in the world, he comes off at 60-1.
Those are some pretty long odds.
Jordan Spieth, by the way, storyline.
That's what I was going to go. He's plus 8,000. He really hasn't been playing bad golf.
Look at his stats on the year.
I mean, he finished 5 under at Augusta. He was 7 under at the Heritage. At the Truist, he had a bad 4th round, but he was sitting under par most of the weekend.
I think some good value you can find in golf obviously you want to hit the outrights, but taking a guy to finish like top 20 or top 10, there's probably some really good value on some of those names that we just said that you could take top 10.
I mean, I'd like Spieth top 10.
Let's also remember in this long career so far of Jordan Spieth, the career Grand Slam. This is the one that has eluded him. I believe this is 11th opportunity or 12th to complete the career Grand Slam. And you mentioned his starts. He has not been bad. 24, 29, 12, 10. I mean, he's got some really good starts throughout this season, as he did. Remember, he's returning back to form from wrist surgery last year, but he'll be trying to complete that career Grand Slam. And you know what that would mean to the golf, because there's only 4, not many, as Rory McIlroy completed his, I believe, the 4th, but we'll see.
And I think Spieth would be the funniest name to complete a Grand Slam. Because has he ever? I mean, there was like that 1 year stretch where it did feel like he's one of the top golfers in the world, but he's never ever felt like dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grand Slam winners, for the most part, feel like dominant golfers. It'd be kind of funny to add Spieth in that list. Not to say he's undeserving.
No, but if you look, his career early on was dominant.
Yeah.
He won so fast. He won a lot quick. Here's some guys to watch. As always, when you get to a major, you talk about first-time winners. CBS Sports gives us 9 guys to watch for first-time winner. Oberg, ? Tommy Fleetwood, been real close a lot. Russell Henley in that mix. My goodness, this computer is so dumb. And Chris Gottrop is on that board as well for guys to watch. But watch the first-time guys going out there. But again, I really like the conversation around Jordan Spieth in this one, trying to complete that career Grand Slam. And then always the question is can something to watch, I think, in round 1 as well is how does Scotty Scheffler get off to a start? His season has been a really, really good season by numbers. His first rounds have not been what you've looked at and gone, man, he's somebody to watch. If he gets off to a good start, it could be a long weekend for a lot of golfers out there watching him.
It feels kind of like a shark in the water. You know, he's kind of just been hanging around, and then one of these times he's just going to strike and take over.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty big favorite right now, isn't he?
Huge, 9-2 off the board or whatever the plus number is, but he's a huge favorite right now.
Yeah.
He'll be the favorite going the rest of the way. I mean, it's just what it is. But if you look at it, I think he has like 3 second place finishes, and like I think he's been in the top 10 in like almost every tournament he's played in this year.
How much time do we have on the clock here?
Like 2 minutes.
Can we quickly? I do have a couple of this day in sports histories.
Bring it
Before we get you out of here.
I love it.
Because I have one back in 1955. A legend of the game, May 13th, 2026. And this came over the course of multiple days. But Mickey Mantle hits 3 consecutive home runs of at least 463 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, let's qualify that.
No, they're 460.
The science of calculating how far a home run went back in the day was inexact at best.
Yep. He hit that building. It's about 460.
It's about 460. That is about how it went.
Keep going. Stand by it.
So I think the best way we can put this is Mickey Mantle hit 3 very long home runs.
Massive bombs.
I don't think to have the exact number of at least 463 is a little crazy.
I love it.
Because I would rely on somebody like outside the stadium being like, it landed right here. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And they pulled out the tape measure.
Feels like those ones when they at Wrigley Field. You have no idea. It's on the Waveland Avenue. Okay. It was 380. Sure.
I swear it left a mark in the pavement.
Hey, quick. Happy birthday, Dennis Rodman. You and Dennis Rodman share a birthday.
Oh, boy.
Makes a lot.
Should I dye my hair like him and
do it?
Get some piercings like that, too?
The Honey Badger. Happy birthday. Boy, a whole lot more. Coming up. A lot more baseball, a lot of hoops, and Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan when we return.
On to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of. Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Hi, I'm Tony Dungy. Our son Jordan needed the specialized care that only Shriners Hospitals for Children could provide, and it was incredible to see the love and dedicated care he received. Shriners Hospitals for Children is a healthcare system dedicated to improving the lives of kids with pediatric conditions.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is changing the world through caring for kids. Please give today at 1-800-241-4438 or at shrinershospitalsforchildren.org.
Our daughter Lee was born with brittle bone disease.
Thanks to Shriners Hospitals for Children, I can go to school, play, and do fun things like other kids. They've helped me so much. They're like my family. We need your help. Please donate today.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is changing the world through caring for kids. Please give today at 1-800-241-4438 or at shrinershospitalsforchildren.org. At 1-800-241.
Tried to buy new flooring you want it installed right away. Hi, Steve Carper from O Street Carpet. With our huge in-stock supply of carpet, tile, and vinyl, wood, and laminate flooring. You buy today and we'll install it right away. While other stores don't deliver that kind of service, we do. In fact, if you'd have purchased your flooring last week at O Street, you'd be enjoying it today.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street and ostreetcarpet.com.
The KFOR Sportscasters Club recognizes student-athletes and their achievements for the 2025-26 school year. All were honored through a virtual presentation. Scholarships were awarded to Oliver Brassel of Lincoln High, Preston Pike of Northeast, Henry Whitty of Southeast, David Creer of Pius X, Landon Lincolnfelter of East, Ben Moose of Lincoln Christian, Bella Suits of Lincoln Lutheran, Brandley Norlinger of Southwest, Kendall Anderson of North Star, Evan Lucas of Northwest, and Addie Kale of Standing Bear. Thanks to our corporate and goal-level sponsor, Sandhills Global, who matched the scholarships.
Remember your first Salt Dogs game? Maybe it was a class trip out on the berm, or date night with actual fireworks, or team building that didn't feel like work at all. For 25 seasons, Haymarket Park remains Lincoln's place for firsts like these, the kind that last. Because it's more than a baseball game. It's the joy of being here together. These are the traditions that bring us home. So here's to you, Lincoln. Your local tradition plays on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
My teenage son only has one brain, and it'll keep developing through his mid-20s. But if he uses e-cigarettes, the nicotine in them can impact attention, learning, and memory, and can prime the brain for addiction. So I've talked to him about staying away from e-cigarettes, because my son only has one brain.
Learn more at cdc.gov/e-cigarettes today. A message from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and this
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Breaking news, the murder conviction of Alex Murdaugh and the deaths of his wife and son in 2021 has been overturned by the South Carolina Supreme Court. Murdaugh was convicted in 2023. At the sentencing hearing in which he got life in prison, he made this statement.
I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt my son, Pawpaw.
The state's high court has found that County Clerk Becky Hill improperly influenced the jury hearing the case against Alex Murdaugh during his 2023 trial. He had been charged with killing his wife and 22-year-old son, was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. The court says he should be tried again on those charges, but Murdaugh also was convicted of financial crimes. Those convictions will keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The producer price index shows inflation at the wholesale level soared last month by 6% year over year, the steepest increase in 3.5 years, led by food and energy costs. More pressure on companies to pass that increase along to you. Wages not keeping up. Heather Long, chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union.
That's why people are really feeling pinched and that they have to stretch every dollar because they are not making ends meet right now.
President Trump's arrived in Beijing for his summit with China's leader. Trade, Taiwan, and Iran expected on the agenda. The White House disputes this New York Times report, says ABC's Lionel Moise.
New intelligence shows Iran's military capabilities appear stronger than the Trump administration has claimed. The New York Times reports Iran still has operational access to 30 of its 33 missile sites along the strait and retains 70% of its pre-war missile stockpile.
Utah mom Corey Richens will be sentenced today for the murder of her husband. She was convicted of poisoning him with fentanyl after his death and before she was charged. She wrote a children's book on grief. You're listening to ABC News. After his death and before she was charged.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
A number of expected victories and one surprise in Tuesday's general election. Good morning, I'm Jeff Moats. We're at 65 degrees at KFOR. One of the biggest surprises from the Nebraska primary election Tuesday was the Republican race for Secretary of State. Challenger Scott Peterson upset incumbent Bob Evnen 55% to 45% of the vote. Peterson now advances to the November general election to face the Democratic nominee, Sarah Slattery. Convincing victories, though, in other races Tuesday, including for governor. Incumbent Republican Jim Pillen won the nomination. Democratic challenger and former Fremont Senator Lynn Walls got her party's nomination. For U.S. Senate, Republican incumbent Pete Ricketts also got the victory, while Democratic candidate Cindy Burbank was also nominated. Nonpartisan candidate Dan Osborne also advances to the general election in that U.S. Senate race. For Nebraska's District 1 seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, incumbent Republican Mike Flood ran unopposed, and he will face Democratic challenger Chris Backemeyer in the general election. Full results can be found up at KFORnow.com. New school bonds totaling nearly $100 million for Waverly and Norris school districts were voted down Tuesday. Waverly was asking for $64 million over 20 years for adding some early childhood classrooms, expanding HVAC systems, moving offices for security reasons, and expanding career and technical education opportunities. Norris was looking to do some security upgrades like Waverly, plus bring buildings up to current safety and accessibility standards. An arrest has been made in an investigation to a child sexual assault reported to Lincoln police.
On Monday, May 11th, Boo was arrested and taken to the Lancaster County Jail for third-degree sexual assault of a child, which is a Class 3A felony.
Lincoln Police Public Information Manager Erica Thomas tells KFOR News on April 22nd, a mandatory reporter called the DHHS hotline and reported a belated sexual assault of a 12-year-old boy. In the last 3 weeks, officers worked diligently in the investigation to make an arrest. They determined 56-year-old Hung Van Vu of Lincoln had inappropriately touched the child on multiple times between January 21 and May 2023. Sunshine today and a high of 83. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
Save big money on everything you need right now at Menards. Get the long-lasting power you need with Energizer. Menards has the largest in-stock selection of Energizer batteries. They provide power for flashlights, remotes, and so much more. Hurry in, stock up on Energizer batteries and save big money. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career certifications every month.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us. Livingston makes a great point. Making a long putt in the morning when the next group can see your line. That's real. That's real. Those early morning tee times are
Or getting on the green and seeing the line that somebody previously took that missed.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Information.
Whoa. Who hit that one? That's one of the ones that in place you go back and look at the sheet and go find that guy like, I mean, you pushed that, didn't you? You pulled it. Yeah.
Thanks for the info, though.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Or those early morning tee times in the fall, the leaves have fallen on the green, and you can see where folks have moved the leaves so they can hit their putt.
Yep. We have, when we get to that point, I have some buddies that it's no joke because we've talked about this before, and actually some of the courses start to do this for your fall golf, your winter golf, whatever the case is with the leaves. Courses will position blowers at strategic parts of the golf course to help you. Just blow them off. We play the leaf rule too, because sometimes there's so many leaves on the golf course, can't find that golf ball. It's like, look at those leaves. But we have coming up, Husker legend Henry T.
Coming up, how about right now?
Oh, is he there? There, my man. T, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
I was wondering when you were going to get in.
I think we may have been a little late in the link.
Hey, I got to tell YZ happy birthday now.
Thank you, T. I thought you were going to come on and sing to him.
Oh, no, y'all don't want to hear me sing. I'm worse than Derek. No, I can't. Nobody's worse.
Whoa, go ahead and say it.
No, nobody's
I'm
worse
sure he's listening.
Yeah, D-Vic, nobody's worse than D-Vic.
Okay, I run the controls over here. I would have muted your mic real quick.
Hey, YZ, you don't want to hear me sing.
Hey, we had Justice sing us a little ditty yesterday morning. He's pretty good.
It was nice.
Hey, just wait. The Morning Hookup Choir is coming. We're gonna go Christmas caroling, Justice on the bass. I can probably do some tenor notes still from my high school days.
Hey, but back to D-Vic real quick. Hey, Bill, he is still complaining about winning the pool a couple years ago and not
his information
and not getting his just due, his whatever the winning. I mean, he just having bragging rights wasn't enough for him. So
I got him. Just I need his information. That man. How much else does he need?
Oh yeah, and he's been telling me almost every week, but he tells me after the show. I said, bro, you gotta let me know before the show so I can go on and bring it up. And so since I brought up his horrible singing, that popped in my mind. Oh, it's awful. Trust me. You ever ride in the car with somebody, they try to sing with the music, and
it's completely tone deaf.
He's worse.
Hey, speaking of that, like, did you? That's a great question we could ask you about. Like, did you have a teammate that had a hidden talent that you didn't realize? You're like, oh, that big man, look at him, he can sing, or that. So, did you have anybody like, man, I was surprised by, like, because I gotta tell you, when the big ginger yesterday started singing, I was like, whoa,
what can't this guy do?
What cannot? Yeah.
That's the great question. And as I think back, golly, we were just kind of just laid back group, man. And we didn't really, outside of the practical jokes that some of the guys played on each other, we found out the talent that everybody had post basketball in college, as far as where their career went and the successes that they had. But as far as singing, nah. Dancing, but Bernard Day could imitate folks. He used to imitate the Sandman, Broderick Thomas, is the way he used to dance at the house parties, and he used to do that pretty good. Yeah, and some of that was I can't even talk about on the show. And those are entertaining parties back in the day.
Oh my goodness, that's good. Well, we got Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan out. Boy, T, man, there's been a lot of hoop stuff going on. I don't know if you saw it, but How about the let's look at this. Did you see that they announced the home only, away only, and home and away schedule for the Big Ten?
I saw that, but I didn't see where we landed and who were playing and things of that sort. Hey, I couldn't get over Oogie signing with Arizona.
Boy, I don't even know. That's one. It's a head scratcher.
Yeah,
But I here's the deal. I do like the way, and again, we'll get back to the scale, but that's a great point. Washington had a good point, which leads to the money, to the NIL conversation, is where Nebraska isn't in the situation where you can take risk, but Arizona probably has the dollars that can go, all right, it's pretty much low risk for us. They could be high reward if he's healthy and could get back to the court, because Nebraska, as Robin told us, they were big on Oogie when he got here. They were hoping, and even I believe Coach Hoiberg said it a couple weeks ago when he was on the show and said, we had big things for Oogie.
Well, then the big man is coming back for Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
The big man is coming back. So, it's almost like our quarterback going to Oregon when the starter's coming back. It's.
Why do you say big man and our quarterback at Oregon in the same sentence?
Similar situations.
Look, see, why are you wearing Oregon green this morning?
I know it's my golf.
It's tomato. However you want to
He's
say
not
that.
eating tomatoes.
but yeah, no, that came as a surprise though. That just come as a surprise, because we saw him in maybe one or two games where it looks like he moved well. He, hit a bucket. I mean, you could tell that the guy had skills, but I know there was a health risk there and a health issue there. But when he entered the transfer portal and signed with Arizona, and I'm like, what just happened? And so it came as a surprise. Well, good luck to him, and I'm still happy with what Coach Hoiberg shared with us last week, and as far as our signees and potential signees, and what we have coming next year, who's joining the folks that are still here with Brian. I'm saying his dad's name, Price Sanford, coming back, and Frager, and the offense being built around those two, with Connor and Kel Jacobson also being here. That's going to be, kind of our glue. So I'm pretty excited about that. But like I said, we also have the big kid coming back as well. So I'm happy with what we have. I can't wait to see these guys practice, and so I can get my own assessment of what we have, and see if I can throw some more Kool-Aid out there to the fans.
And once you get your chance to come back to town and watch some practices, what are you going to be looking for with this team? I mean, it's in this era of college basketball, every team is its own thing. I know the thing that kind of stood out to you last year was just how well they shot the ball. Fred Hoiberg talked about that as well, and just the maturity with which they practice. I think you remember you talking about that too. What are you going to be looking for? What do you want to see from this team once you do make it in to see a practice?
Well, first thing I'm going to look at, obviously we probably going to have a better shooting team this year with what we have coming in with the two freshmen. In addition to the transfer portal, from my understanding, the kid from Utah State does it all, from an offensive standpoint, and we had two big point guards. But what I'm going to look for is just how these new guys blend in with the existing guys that's already there, and how their roles are going to be defined. And I know during this summer and preseason that is going to give Coach Hoiberg and his staff a lot of time to see what they have, and and the makeup of this team. And I remember when I came to Nebraska, when D. Vick and I came, and then Jeff Reckaway and Van Pogies and a few of us, and also EJ, blending in with the guys that had already been there, Bernard Day and Brian Carr and Bill Jackman and Keith Newbert and Joe Sealer. I mean, it was kind of almost like half and half, new guys with the existing guys. And first thing we did was try to figure out, how can we contribute to this program, and looking at the talent that we had to go against, compete against. And it started in that gym. Of course, it's way different than it was back when we signed, with the practice facility and, the nutrition and all the stuff they got going on. But as a player, we kind of really, because I knew D Vic's game, but I didn't, and I played against Bernard Day, so I knew what kind of talent he had. But the rest of them played against Jeff Reckaway as well. So you saw him at least once in the JUCO tournament. And so you really kind of analyze, what's already there, the talent, and how your talent can going to blend in and really complement what's already there, and how how that chemistry is going to be built. And that's what I look for, looking for these new guys, especially the freshmen, because the guys that's coming from programs that they've already got a year or two under their belt, some coming in as juniors or seniors, that they are seasoned players, but you got these freshmen that are coming in that's highly talented. They're both 4 stars. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to blend in with the existing players and how they're going to work out and earn those positions in that playing time. So that's kind of what I look for, just in how they operate, their demeanor, their attentiveness, and how they react to some of the coaching that's going to be going on early on, because this is not high school and this is a whole different program, a whole different coaching staff, and they have to adjust. And that's what helped out D Vic and I, because we came from a different system that joined in with a new system and a new coaching staff, and so you just adjust. And once you play at that level, it's not really your skills anymore. It's how you adapt to the program and the system that they're running. And like Coach Hoiberg said last week, he said that he has his coaches out there scouting NBA teams and learning more offenses that they're going to implement in this program. And do we have the players who's going to adapt to that type of offense? Because if there's any university or college program in the country that's preparing you for the true NBA, other than you being a 5-star or top 50 player, this is the program to be in. And one of the players, big men, did say they came here because of the ability of Coach Hoiberg to prepare them for the NBA. So you're looking at all that. At least I'm looking at all that, and it takes me a couple of practices to kind of really get a good idea of what we have and how this team is going to gel. But I'm pretty excited to see it.
Coming into this season, like we were talking about, they had big expectations for Oogie, and they were also expecting Connor Esigian to be a big part. So with that, with them being out, the rotation kind of went to 7, 8-ish guys, but they were really planning on more around, a rotation of 9 to 10 guys. Coming into the season next year with who's coming in, who's coming back, do you think Fred dips into the bag of closer to a 9 to 10 man rotation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I think these freshmen are going to come in and play. It's no doubt, at least from the skill set and that from what I've seen. I've seen videos of Rice. Is it Rice?
Yes.
Yeah. I see some, and he looks very talented for a 6'7" swingman, and Connor, and Kel Jacobson, the bigs that we got coming in, the guards we got coming in, and I'm with you, YZ. I think we are going to have at least at the preseason, and I've said this in the past. Preseason is going to be an 8 to 10 man rotation, and then as you get closer to conference, they reduce that to because unless everybody's that equal as far as talent and adapting to the offense and being able to execute, if we got 9 to 10 folks executing, then we will go into the conference play with that type of rotation. But at the same token, you're successful. You see most successful teams, their rotation is 7 to 8 max, 7 to 8. And you rarely see, maybe since the the old Nolan Richardson's team or Tarkanian's team where you got 10 where you can just rotate and they're pressing you full court. And that's that's the style of offense that you had to have a 8 to 10, 9 to 10 man rotation. But with this offense, I'm good with 7 and 8, but I think it's going to be very competitive. And that's the flexibility that Coach Hoiberg and his staff is going to have with this team. The ability to play up to 10 people or keep the rotation down based upon how you're playing. 7 to 8, I just think the two guys is going to probably be your more consistent players are going to be Price and Frager. And everybody else is going to have to earn it around unless we got some big man that's going to just shine over the others. And then you're going to have the point guard battle with the 2-6-5 guards. Guards coming in from San Diego State and Utah Valley State. So it's going to be interesting, man. And we're going to have some size too, fellas. When you start, your starting lineup is going to be your shortest is 6'5" to 6'10" to 11 and potentially 7-footer. That's Big Ten size. And you've seen how successful the Big Ten teams were this year, and I can see that happening again this upcoming year. It's going to be a different look for each team, and every team is going to have a different roster. But luckily for us, man, we got two of our best players coming back, so I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Well, T, man, stay with us. We're going to take a break. I'm going to come back. You're going to be here. We're going to talk more with T, the Husker legend. We're going to talk about that schedule, and then the thought of what you're looking at, what you see. You can start to see it coming together. You can start to see when you look at it, when's Nebraska going to get out west? You can see that coming up. And then we'll talk about their home and away. They have 3 of those. So let's talk about that and a whole lot more when we return with the Husker legend.
Yeah, you're right. D. Vic was listening, Bill. He states, really comparing my singing to yours. Oh.
T, what's that? Sorry, we were going to break here.
No, sorry. D. Vic is obviously listening, and he responded, really comparing my singing to yours. Then he says, I may have to pull a Debo on Bill.
That's good. Debo, I wrote it down right here. Debo, come get some.
Well, that was a classic. That was a classic show, man. And I know Chris Tucker wasn't interested in the remake of Friday because he did it. The first one was such a gem, but those characters and Debo and all of that, man, that was phenomenal.
You got knocked up out.
And he was shaking his head when he was looking down at it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
those are good ones. I can't wait till I get to like the level where I can show my kids those movies.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're classics. They just don't make movies like that anymore.
No.
The road trip, what was that? Not road trip. What was the one with golly. I think it's Old School.
Old School.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Go back and watch the original Police Academy.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
I can go back with Bill Murray and Stripes.
Oh, that was good. Dude.
The great comedies that they used to make back in the day. When they make one, I look at it. It's just like the new Police Squad that they made with Liam Neeson, and my brother thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and I looked at it and I was like, I really struggled because it wasn't the same. Those original Police Squads, it was hilarious. Ooh. And somebody brought up yesterday. I was talking when I was golfing with my buddies on Sunday, they brought up. Y'all might be too young, not you, Bill. You probably seen the Benny Hill shows.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
Hilarious. Hey, fellas,
we're both looking at you.
Never heard of him. A YouTube Benny Hill's episodes, man. The dude was.
Hey, that
I know the theme song.
Yeah, that. Hey, give me some old Sanford and Sons.
Oh, absolutely.
Elizabeth, coming to see you.
Well, because I talk about it, those videos of those clips of those shows always pop up on my phone. Even the Martin shows.
Martin.
Yeah.
How about the old what was it? The Jeffersons.
Oh yeah. Good times. Archie Bunker. Could you imagine that trying to show on TV right now?
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. We're spending a lot of great time with Husker. Oh, you going? Here he goes. Yeah. Take that, D-Vic.
Hey,
Come
if you
get
heard
some.
D-Vic's, if D-Vic did that, what Elijah just did, it would just hurt your ears.
Should have heard us the other day. We were busting out Boys the Men into the road.
Let's not act like that right there didn't hurt people's ears.
Oh God!
Guys,
D-Vic used to ride. We'd be riding in the car, man. He starts to sing, and man, I just look at him, man.
Listeners in their cars are turning down the dials on their
what was
volume right now.
Boldly changing the station.
Wait a minute, and then especially when he forget that he don't know the words, so he'll just make up something.
Would you listen to D-Vic sing or Roseanne Barr singing the national anthem? That's the question. Or Carl Lewis.
Ooh.
Who's better?
But Carl Lewis, he just forgot the words, didn't he?
Carl Lewis started shouting.
He got flustered. He forgot about the singing part of things because he forgot the words. He got flustered.
But the classic of that singing, when he stated, hey, hold up, I'm going to make up for that. Who says?
Oh my
God!
God!
Make up for what? You're done.
What?
It's over.
Boy, speaking of that, we're in the stream, and if you guys get a chance, join us on the Morning Hookup at YouTube or Facebook. We talk a lot of stuff, old movies, old TV shows. Do you have a favorite old like we're talking about the old police academies were amazing, old TV shows, the Martins of Sanford and Sons. I thought about Different Strokes. Remember how transitional that was with Different Strokes? That movie, that show. Do you have a couple like good ones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one that sticks in my mind, and I don't know how many episodes they had, but I was young when I was watching it. But Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
I was like,
Gilligan's Island.
Are they ever going to get saved?
Nope.
I mean,
never.
They was on the cusp of getting saved
all the time.
Yeah, there's something would happen where they could. Oh man, that should drive.
That makes me think about Gilligan's Island. Now I'm thinking about The Love Boat.
Oh yeah.
Well, they did have that movie after the show was done where they're like, all right, the fans need a resolution. The show's been canceled. And they made like a made-for-TV movie where they do end up saving themselves, but then the movie ends with them getting washed up on that same island again, and that's where the movie ends. So,
well, there's two military movies that I grew up watching too. Is McHale's Navy and Hogan's Heroes.
Good one.
Oh, Hogan's Heroes is good.
Another one was similar military style. Where are they ever going to get out? I mean, are they going to be like the Colonel Klink is going to be? They're going to be under his control for the rest of their lives. And lastly was alleged was MASH. Did you ever watch
MASH? Good.
Yeah, I watched all of MASH.
Yeah, see, I spent a year in military in South Korea, where that's where that was filmed, and it depicted South Korea, and I spent some time there, a whole year over there in South Korea back in the day.
So many good shows out there. One that was last year was a great show. That was Nebraska basketball. That schedule popped out.
Good transition.
You like that?
That
was good. I'm getting good. Like 8 years in. Got it. Boom. If only I can just be a legend like the Mac Henry T. But they announced so it's divided now, right? Because of the sides of the home, away, home and away. Let's start with the home games. Again, we've talked about home games home games based on the non-conference schedule, how unappetizing it is. I think fans are going to be happy with what's going to happen in this home schedule. Get your thoughts when we'll go to the away games and our cross component opponents. Indiana coming to town, Rutgers coming to town, UCLA, USC, Ohio State, Minnesota, and Michigan headed to PBA.
I think that's let's start with Michigan. The national champs coming in, a team that we competed against at Michigan, lost by 3 without 2 of our top players. And this, which I've always said last year during the season that I thought we could compete with any team in the country at that point, and to almost beat those guys was huge. And it'd be interesting just to see what I said earlier, not only Michigan, but I see online all the time about all these so-called top recruits that these teams are signing, and I've been trying to figure out where these guys are coming from and how good are they really, because it's being a national champion. And I saw the big kid is at the NBA combine, so it looks like he might not even be coming back. The 7'3" kid may not be coming back, but that sticks in my mind the most. Any opportunity you get to play the defending national champions at home, I think that's going to be a big deal. But I think it's going to be a big deal for all games. Not only the Big Ten conference, but even the pre-conference games, based upon the success of this team. And I'm sure if all the games are not sold out at this time, they will be sold out. And I honestly believe with UCLA coming in, who was a tournament team as well, Indiana should have been there. I've seen that Rutgers have some really good signees. I mean, all these guys. Now this is on paper, and until they start playing, it's hard to really give a real assessment of what these fans can look for until you see these guys play and see. And they're in the same boat that we are. You got practically a new team. With Coach Hoiberg, what he shared last week, of course, he's going to have a similar system that he's already had, but he's always looking to upgrade what he does have. So it's going to be a chess game starting this summer throughout the season for all these teams. And I think what's coming in, I think any team from the Big Ten that's coming in is going to be fantastic, whether we're at home and on the road. Heck, I'm even excited about playing Boise State in South Dakota, and I got to get there for one of those games, those tournaments, or this one of those games, because it seems like it's getting bigger every year. And so, no, it's exciting times, and I was just talking to, Coach Samuel, Tony Samuel's in town. Him and his beautiful girlfriend Lexi, they're here, and my dad. And him and I, we were at dinner last night, and we were just talking about Nebraska sports in general, the success of the big, the softball team. And I know I'm taking it to somewhere else, but it's just kind of exciting times for the University of Nebraska with the softball team winning the Big 8 championship. And I still can't figure out how they're a 4 seed after being ranked number 1 in a couple of the publications, which, it is what it is. And we'll just see how that all plays out. The baseball team finishing with a sweep of Iowa, ranked in the top 25, and see where that goes. And we're in volleyball, and I told him we're still a football school regardless. But Coach Samuel's he's backed off. Yeah, he corrected me last night, and I'm like, that's all I've known since I've been at the University of Nebraska is football. And so, and maybe this is a cue, and maybe he's going to put some more pressure on Coach Rule to get that program where we're accustomed of it being since the mid '90s. so anyway, I'm pretty excited about what we got coming into the pinnacle, into the vault this year. Not only regular season. Conference play, but preset conference as well.
Tell me, T, and this is, an almost impossible question because I know you're going to make it back for more than just one game, but let me lay out the entire home slate.
There you go.
And I want you to pick the one game that you would come back for if you're only allowed one. So you got Iowa, Michigan State, Penn State, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio State, Rutgers, UCLA, and USC. Which team stands out there as the one team you'd be most excited to come back to Lincoln to check out the game if it works for your schedule?
Wow. Iowa, the payback.
Iowa, that's a good answer. I like that one.
The payback. And, that's, they prevented us from making it to the Elite Eight for the grudge match against Illinois, and that kind of, I don't hate them, but just like those years of Creighton beating us, and now the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, we've gotten the best of them, and we consider Creighton and Iowa as our rivals. So yeah, I would love to see us. I got to figure out when we're coming back for alumni, what game that's going to be, because I'm going to definitely be back for other games, but that's one game I definitely want to make it back for.
We still have to, see how the transfer portal shapes out all of these teams. But are there any other teams in the Big Ten that kind of catch your eye as major competition?
Well, all the teams are major competitions, but I outside of Iowa, I would say, one of my favorite college coaches in the country and one of the best coaches in the country is Michigan State. I mean, I love watching him on the sideline, whether he's at home, on the road, and just to watch how he coaches. And because I'm looking at the game, like I've told you all, I look at the game in a different lens. It's more than just wins and losses. I'm watching the sideline. I'm watching the bench, the coaching staff, the refs, the players, and how they're playing. It seemed like Michigan State, for some reason, since Coach Izzo's been around so long, it's always a treat to watch that guy in action. So I would say those two, Iowa and Michigan State.
Well, again, we're speaking Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan. T, when you guys got the schedule and you looked at it, and obviously there's ways to break it down, whether it be in quarters, thirds, whatever, home and away. How did you guys look at it? Because when I saw it yesterday, I started looking at the away opponents and what that looks like, because it's the great teams, the one, the upper side of the Big Ten teams or any conference, they went on the road. They go on the road. So when I got this, I went, all right, this is where we got to go. If we're going to be back in that top 4 conversation or whatever the case is, we got to go to Illinois. You got to go back to Purdue. You got to go to Wisconsin. Your West Coast looks like you're going to be out at Oregon and Washington in the same weekend, probably. Iowa, Michigan State, Penn State. How did you guys look at it and start breaking? Again, not to get too far ahead on the schedule, but how did you guys start to look at it?
Well, with Coach Nee, we started in pre-conference before we even thought about the Big 8 conference play, because our pre-conference is preparing you for conference play, and how he coached us, and even Coach Bargan before we came to Nebraska when he coached D-Vic and I and Hutch, is that you take it. We rarely looked ahead. You always just look at that opponent. We focus on the film on these teams. This scout team would learn their plays, and we played against them. We took it one game at a time, and then when it came to conference play, we knew who was who, back then, and you knew Oklahoma, Kansas, Mizzou. I think my senior year, Mizzou was picked to win the conference, and I think Oklahoma ended up winning the conference, but we just, at that time, we were the best conference in the nation. We, like I said, that's the year Kansas won and beat Oklahoma in the championship game, and Kansas beat K-State in the Elite 8 with Mitch Richmond. But our top 3 teams at that time, because we would always split with K-State, but Oklahoma, Kansas, and Mizzou is 3 of the top teams in the country. So, if there was a team that you kind of looked ahead and tried to prepare for, it was those 3 teams. But then again, you had Danny Manning, who was the best player in the country, so you was always excited to play against that team, because it was easier to scout against Kansas than it was Mizzou and Oklahoma, because with Kansas, we really only, and I hate to say it, even though they won the national championship, we always worried about the one player that we had to contend with, and that was Danny Manning. Where with Mizzou and Oklahoma, even though they had the Band-Aid man at Mizzou, then you had, of course, Mookie Blaylock, Stacey Keenan, those guys at Oklahoma, but they had multitude of players that you had to prepare for. And so, but Kansas was that team that you would mark down like, we got to protect home. And we were able to protect home 2 years in a row against those guys while we were there. And so, yeah. And I'm sure with Nebraska, I guarantee you those players, especially with Price being a former Hawkeye. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. He'll may not never admit it, but he's looking forward to that rematch with Iowa, especially at home. And the last time we played him at home, we did beat him. So that's, that's kind of our mindset. It's easy to say it's one game at a time, but when you look at that schedule, you're marking down games that's gonna be in our eyes a little bit more difficult and important and more excited to play, because we wanted to play against the Oklahomas and KUs and Mizzou's and K-State or Oklahoma State that year. Because we didn't know Oklahoma State. We split with them the first year, so we didn't know about Richard Dumas and John Starks coming in the following year. Like, where did these guys come from? But that's the beauty of this era of basketball with the transfer portal. You don't know who you're playing against until you watch a few games, scout them, and then see them up close and personal. So this era of basketball is so much different than when we played, especially with social media. You can see all the guys that they're recruiting. You see them on YouTube. You see them on your smartphones, and you're getting an overdose of all these players. But regardless of that, how do they play together? And I think that's what Coach Hoiberg and his staff does so well with the Huskers. These guys play well together. I think Amy Williams do the same thing with the women's program. Softball, baseball, the unity and how these Husker teams at all levels and all sports, man, we just come together, man, and play so well together and love playing with one another. And like I said, we have a great relationship with all the alumni here at Nebraska, and it's continue to get better as well. So,
T, before we get you out here, probably last thought. Since we last chatted, we did have the NBA draft lottery, and I want to get your thoughts. The Wizards get the number 1 overall pick. Top 3 projected picks, most places you look, in some particular order: A.J. Debonsa out of BYU, Darren Peterson out of Kansas, and Cameron Boozer out of Duke. If you're the Wizards, who are you taking number 1 overall? Which of those 3 guys do you think is best?
That's not even close to me. It's AJ. Just not even close to me. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, and you remember we got a chance to see him up close and personal in the pre-exhibition game, and just saw his skill set. And from a skill perspective, I think I can't say it's not close, but he's obviously the most skilled player. They got some really good guards out there that's going to come in and help teams. But for a 6'8", 6'9", swing man with the skill set that he has, I think it's a no-brainer. Now, I did read, just recently heard about Darren Peterson about, all this cramping and stuff coming from creatine. Yep. I remember my son used to drink that, but not overdose, but it helped him build muscle and stuff like that. I don't know I didn't go into in depth of that, but if he didn't get it, we didn't get a chance to see him at his highest potential, physically wise, health wise. It'll be interesting because he was projected as the number 1 pick all season, regardless of his sparingly playing time and things of that sort. Boozer, after watching him a few times, I just think he's going to be similar to his dad, but his dad had more offensive skills. But he's going to be able to bang, rebound, and do those things. And I think the offense side would develop as he learn the NBA game. But I think the AJ is this hands down, and I'm looking forward to see this Darren Peterson and see him playing healthy. I don't know if that was an excuse, but he said he almost thought he was dying. I'm like, what just happened? And so for that to come out afterwards, man, didn't make sense to me, man. So be interested to see this Peterson kid play though.
It will be, and all that class has a chance to be one of the best classes that we've seen in a long time coming out. So, but also speaking of good class, it's UT. We appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that. Hey, can I give a shout out to my cousin that lost his dad? And we just, Darius and Cord Adams, they lost their dad recently, and they attended his funeral on Saturday. And that's out of nowhere, very healthy man, but which I always tell you all, and whoever's listening, man, get those checkups, man, and catch whatever is going in you, and don't ignore little aches and pains that you haven't felt before, man. It's, that's why these doctors are there for us, man. And the earlier you catch any type, I don't care how young you are, fellas, YC and Elijah, get your checkups, man. Start early and often, and stay healthy, man, because the earlier they catch any of these terrible diseases, man, the better off and easier for them to treat it. So just want to throw that out, and prayers for the family. And I just wanted to make sure I said that. And I do appreciate and enjoy talking to you guys every week, and talking this Husker hoop. And let's go Big Red in baseball and softball. They going to make it happen, man, and make that long run. Love to see the baseball team make it back to Omaha, and it looks like softball team's going to be playing a lot of home games, through the regionals and super regionals this time. Like, so I'm looking forward to watching those games, and may even try to get back for one. But it's going to be tough, man. I got a lot going on out here, and so we'll see what happens. My granddaughter is going to the volleyball camp June 1st, so I'm trying to get there June 1st, but it's tough, man, because I'm supposed to go play with Bo Reed on June 23rd. Then play with Amy and Johnny, with the parents in O'Neill at some point. So I'm trying to figure out this schedule, fellas. But y'all be seeing me here within the next 3 to 4 weeks for sure.
Awesome. We can't wait, T, man. Again, thanks for your time, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all take care. Enjoy.
Thanks, T. Always a pleasure, my friend. That's Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan. Let's take a break. Come back with stories that we missed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you on mute.
Nope, you're good. He's been real, like, you look at his career, my goodness. That's some sick stats for him.
He lost 8 innings, 2 hits.
Yeah, but there's like, this thing goes further. Like, we'll get into it. He's so good. That's crazy. I'm gonna read that. That's so wild. Yeah, buddy. What a beautiful morning outside. Play golf. Do we get to practice outside tonight doing this? My goodness, it'll be a great baseball practice.
It's a great day for my peppers to grow.
Pepper grow? Grill?
I know grill.
You've already food prep for like.
I'm gonna have to get some new. I got to figure it out because the first Salt Dogs game this season is Friday night. So that's also when I'm gonna run out of chicken.
Oh.
So with that in mind,
you got.
I think I might have to get the chicken marinating tonight and cook it tomorrow before I run out.
Yes.
And then have it ready to go so I can bring my Tupperware.
Yes, you have to.
I think so.
You thinking ahead. It's a must. Look at that.
With that in mind, I means I have to figure out.
Now you got to go timing.
Oh, I got to figure out what type of chicken I want because I just made a fresh batch of it's like a balsamic glazed broccoli. So what would go with that? Because I just went like super Italian. It was like garlic, herb, some red wine and vinegar chicken marinade. I don't know.
Can you do?
The The stories we miss. The Morning Hookup.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Special thanks here to Husker legend Henry Chi Buchanan. During the stream, Elijah's got issues. He's going to be running out of his food prep chicken come like Friday. And you were talking about you have balsamic glazed what?
Broccoli.
And you're on an Italian theme. Can you have cheese?
I can. I haven't been, though.
I was thinking like a caprese chicken. Like a grill, like marinate, get the chicken all nice and marinated, but then put bake it with like the tomato
and then like low fat mozzarella.
Yeah. Can you do a caprese chicken to go with that balsamic broccoli? Just a thought.
That does sound really good.
Just take it. We've done it before at the house. We'll like bake the chicken all nice. Then we'll throw the tomato and we'll put a really nice thinner layer of cut mozzarella and just let it. And then when it comes out, you glaze it, just a little stripe of a glaze.
Oh.
Okay. Just a thought for you. Here's some other thoughts. You're getting into those thoughts.
I gotta go track the calories there and know what that would be.
Just think about it. I'm just a thought now. Okay. Boy, other thoughts. Have you watched, I know you haven't or you have, but Paul Skeens roughed up his first outing. Boy,
he's been spectacular since.
Well, here's what it's been. By the way, almost a no-hitter, took a no-hitter into the seventh till the night, give up 2 hits or whatever.
Yeah, last night he ended up going 8 innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, no walks.
But this is what's crazy. First of all, he lowered his season ERA to 1.98, which is in line with his career, by the way. In his first 64 starts, 1.97 to throw it out there. But let's just look at what it's been as of recently. His last 5 starts. 32 innings pitched, 0.84 ERA, 38 strikeouts. He is now not allowed to run in 16 straight innings. That's not the best stat. No walks in the last 123 hitters. He's gone 123 hitters without a walk in that span. The other night in that no-hitter, he threw 98 pitches, 68 strikes.
And he's still unhittable.
There's not much you can say. They really just speak for themselves.
No walks
and over 100 batters is
that's it,
unheard of.
At that level, and that's hard. And with the way they try to pitch in the bigs, that's crazy talk.
All right, folks. $1 million question here. Us 3, each of us.
Yep.
How many at-bats against Paul Skeens before you make contact?
Infinity. Never happening. I'd be too scared.
Yeah. I've never seen 100 in my life. I don't think I could touch it. I seriously,
I don't know. I'm seriously don't know. I think the answer is
could.
none.
I don't think I could. Genuinely.
Does that count if I just?
Well, the question is he pitching us like MLB batters, or is he pitching us like losers that will just be swinging at everything?
No, I think it's to answer that. It's got to be MLB batter.
Well, because I think you have a better chance actually, because he's got to throw strikes. If he just threw low breaking balls against us half the time, we'd swing over the top of everything.
Listen,
there's no chance I'd be able to tell the difference between a fastball and a slider out of the hand. So I'd miss everything. So yeah, probably infinity.
We have 0 chance.
But I could pick up 1 yard in an NFL game if you put me at running back.
No chance.
I'd get injured after 1 play, but I'd get that 1 yard.
By any means necessary.
Boy, you found out where the
Broncos week 1 Monday Night Football.
In Kansas City.
I am happy about that. Do you know why? Because is it going to be difficult to go into Arrowhead week 1? Yes, but I don't think you're going to get Patrick Mahomes on the top of his game. And more than likely, that second divisional game against the Chiefs will mean more later in the season, and you'll get that one at Mile High. I like week 1 on the road. I've seen some Bronco fans mad. Man, you won the division last year. They make you play on the road division rival week 1. No, this opens up the fact that, hey, once you get that late season game in December, that's going to mean more whenever the division race is coming down to it. You get that game at home. Ideal for the Broncos.
They also threw out there, did you see, I love when they do this because the schedule's out. They know the schedule. It'll be unveiled tomorrow in a production. The number of miles that teams get to travel. Now, obviously, the international ones are going to be way up there. Your Broncos will be the 14th most traveled team, 19,129 miles. Your Patriots, 5th, 27,590 miles.
We do get the Broncos heading to New England this year, taking on the Patriots is it still Gillette Stadium? It's not Gillette Stadium. It is?
Yep. The least traveled team, 8,740 miles. The Panthers. Most traveled, the 49ers, 38,105. Coming up tomorrow.
38,000?
38,000 miles in the air. Rams shortly followed by 34 and some change. Texans, Cowboys. Tomorrow, you guys have a great hump day. We'll catch you on a Thursday.